There was a food so important that ancient Egyptian pharaohs demanded it for their journey into the afterlife. A crop so reliable that it sustained human societies for thousands of years, long before modern agriculture existed. Today, that same plant is officially labeled one of the worst weeds on Earth. Governments publish manuals on how to destroy it. Chemical companies sell poisons designed specifically to erase it from fields. Farmers are trained to see it as an enemy, not because it's weak, but because it's too strong. This plant grows where wheat fails. It survives droughts that wipe out corn. It needs no fertilizer, no pesticides, no machinery. It produces more calories per acre than many modern crops. And that independence is exactly why it had to disappear. This is the story of a superfood rebranded as a weed. Welcome to the Nature Lost Vault. In the early 1900s, archaeologists excavating pre-dynastic Egyptian tombs made an unexpected discovery. Not gold, not jewels, dried tubers, carefully selected, processed, and placed beside the dead. Further analysis revealed the same tubers inside the stomachs of mummies. This wasn't symbolic food. It was real nourishment. The living ate it. The dead were sent with it. At Wadi Kubania, north of Aswan, archaeologists found remains of this plant, dating back over 16,000 years. Thousands of years before agriculture officially began. Humans were harvesting it during the last ice age. By 5000 BCE, it had become a foundational crop in Egypt. Second only to emmer wheat and barley, not a supplement, a staple. Wall paintings from the tomb of the vizier Rekhmir show workers grinding these tubers, mixing them with honey, and shaping them into sacred cones, offerings to the god Amun, mandated by royal decree. The Egyptians called it Habal Aziz. The Greeks documented it. The Romans traded it. For thousands of years, it was ordinary food. Today, we call it Chufa, also known as tiger nuts. Despite the name, it isn't a nut. It's a tuber, an underground energy reserve. Chufa belongs to the sedge family, the same family that gave us papyrus. It thrives in wet soils where most crops rot. One plant can produce up to 75 tubers, each rich in calories and nutrients. They're small, chickpea-sized, with a naturally sweet, nutty flavor, somewhere between almond and coconut. Ancient Egyptians ate them raw, roasted, boiled in beer, or ground with honey. They even used them medicinally. One of the world's oldest medical texts, the Ebers Papyrus, prescribes Chufa for digestive health and household fumigation. Through trade and migration, Chufa spread to North Africa, Sicily, and Spain. In Valencia, it became the foundation of horchata, de Chufa, still produced there today, after more than 700 years. But Chufa wasn't just food. It was survival technology. The tubers can be dried and stored for years without chemicals or refrigeration. Soak them in water, and they return to life, edible or ready to plant. That meant food security during droughts, famine, and war. Now look inside the tuber. This is where things get uncomfortable. Chufa contains significant protein with a complete amino acid profile. Its fats are mostly oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil. Its carbohydrates are primarily resistant starch, which feeds gut bacteria and avoids blood sugar spikes. It contains more fiber than most modern staples, along with calcium, magnesium, iron, and potassium. It's naturally gluten-free, dairy-free, and allergen-friendly. So ask the obvious question. If this plant is nutritious, resilient, high-yielding, and proven across 16,000 years, why isn't it a staple today? Because Chufa cannot be controlled. Once it escaped small-scale cultivation and entered industrial agriculture, it became a threat. The wild form, yellow nutsedge, spreads through underground tubers that regenerate. Even after the visible plant is killed, it refuses to die. For farmers tied to monocultures, patented seeds, and chemical inputs, that resilience is unacceptable. So it was reclassified not as food, but as a weed. Agricultural agencies labeled it one of the worst weeds in the world. Universities researched how to kill it. Chemical companies engineered herbicides specifically to wipe it out. Glyphosate, halosulfuron, sulfentrazone. Repeated applications year after year just to suppress it. Not eliminate it, because you can't patent Chufa. You can't force farmers to rebuy it every season. You can't sell fertilizer for a crop that thrives in poor soil. You can't sell machines for a harvest done by hand. Industrial agriculture depends on dependency. Chufa represents the opposite. That's why abundance was reframed as invasion. Resilience was labeled menace. A food plant was turned into a target, yet it never disappeared. In Spain, Cultivation continues under protected status. In West Africa, Chufa is still sold openly in markets, and now it's re-emerging, quietly, in health food stores as tiger nuts. Researchers study it for biofuel. Others explore it as gluten-free flour. But notice what's still missing. No major government programs promoting it for food security. No large-scale agricultural funding. Only more manuals explaining how to destroy it. Because acknowledging Chufa forces a question industrial. Agriculture can't answer. What if we don't need constant chemicals to feed ourselves? The plant still grows. It still feeds. And every person who learns that a so-called weed once sustained civilizations becomes harder to manipulate. 16,000 years of history tell the truth clearly. This plant feeds people, abundantly, reliably, without permission. And that's why they wanted you to forget it. But now you know. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe to Nature Lost Vault. The next one opens soon.